important factor in any movement. So he started by saying that we vote for political parties to build our nation, but they are building themselves rather. What do you make of that?
Well, I think that happens in almost every country.
That's right.
Unless we have institutions that check, integrity and ensure that people do the right thing.
That's
So the human being in himself, has a lot of issues. But that is why, you see, when we talk about nation building, it's about building institutions that helps us to govern ourselves. And so it's so important that we put in place the checks and balances. But beyond that we all work hard, to speak the truth. And you see, many times I think we get too big on pointing fingers at leaders. But go down there and look at the level of corruption. I deal with the youth and I tell them the truth. Go to the student politics level. And it's more corrupt than anything else you can think about. And so you see, yes, our leaders, maybe corrupt here and there, but the question is, what about you? Where you are working, are you doing the right thing? You see, so it's about you. Let's bring it down to our level. What am I doing which is right, and what am I doing that is wrong, and what should I quit from? And so let's work hard. Let's tell the truth. Let's do the right thing at every level where we find ourselves. It is so sad how many parents, for instance, will pay bribes and will buy question papers for their children so they can pass exams. That is corruption. That is against nation building. Stop criticizing, just political leaders. Fix your own problem first. And so some of the barriers to nation building is that we are trying to remove the speck in our neighbor's eye when there are so many beams in our own eye. When you start changing, the nation has started changing. When one family gets changed, the nation is changed, because the nation is built on individuals and families. So let's start from where we are. I think that when we begin to change, our leaders will change. There's a sad saying, and no one should criticize me for that. Sometimes people say that people get the leaders they deserve.
That's very debatable. Don't worry about saying that. It's debatable, though, so no problem. No problems. But honestly, Doc, some people also have the view that you need a strong leader in terms of transformation leadership.
I agree.
To drive the people along.
I totally agree.
Okay.
I totally agree.
And so, yes, indeed, at all levels, there could be corruption here and there. But speaking for the African continent, for instance, if you have leaders who really, abhor corruption,
right,
and you see that they really do, then you have the nerves and what it takes, to ensure that you don't engage in such things anyway. Anyway, let's do another message. So many Ghanaians are not passionate about Ghana because of our leaders. How can they fatten their bellies and ask us to tighten our belts? Thumbs up for you, Doc. That's what somebody's saying. All right, so let's do a couple of them, then we come back to. Okay, this one says, good morning. Until the citizens become nation builders, nation building oriented, the leaders will not. So to him, it starts from the citizens.
It's very important. I agree to a very large extent. Yes, leaders have responsibility, and it's always very easy. They're an easy target. But remember that ordinary people like you and I today, so to speak, will become leaders tomorrow. If we are building the nation from where we are, when we get there, we'll build a nation. Right? So we have a part to play.
Okay, we have a part to play.
We have an important part to play.
The other one says that, this from Halidu inside Zebila, is that speaker is doing very well because he has changed my life this morning. Wow. Instant transformation. Oh, Doc, you're good. You're indeed a transformational leader. Okay. A couple of messages more. Excuse me. This one says that, good morning, Mr. Ni. It's okay for you, right? Okay. We enjoy your show from Nkoko. Okay. Mr. Ni again. Okay. May God bless you and Dr. Kusi for this great discussion this morning. Okay, Doc, and may God bless the crew of the morning show today. Doc, a couple of them are still trooping in, but let me quickly do one or two, then we will come back to discussion. Okay, this one says GTV, no sizes. Not sizes, no sizes. Oh, right. We love you for that. Okay. And somebody is cooking.
You need to explain that to the older generation.
Okay, no sizes. Don't do it.
I know you do it.
I mean, we have no co-equal. That one to explain that one. Anyway, interesting discussion this one. This one says, I'm Ibrahim from Swan Lake, Accra. Well said, Doc. Bravo. JF Kennedy once said, my fellow Americans, ask not what your country would do for you.
That's right.
ask what you can do for your country.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
okay. So people are rather in line and tune with what you say this morning.
That's the same thing. You know, it starts with us at the individual level.
That's right.
It starts with volunteerism. It starts with doing the right thing. Look, Ghana is a massive country. It's a great country. We have amazing opportunities. And if we can come together as a people, we will never be overridden by any other nation.
That's right.
I'm telling you. We're born to be leaders. We're born to be stars. We're the first in sub-Saharan Africa to gain independence. We're the first to talk about African unity. Ghana is an incredible country. We don't value what we have.
Yeah.
We don't believe in ourselves. Yes, our leaders need to rise up and inspire us a bit more. Our leaders across board, wherever they are, they must rise up and inspire us. They must rise up and challenge us because look at the quality of human beings in Ghana. They go overseas and they're doing amazing things.
Exactly.
They're doing amazing things. They're building nations.
Winning laurels here and there.
All over the place.
Has done this.
All over the place.
Positive.
You took one Ghanaian and you put him in the UN, and then we run the UN like it was my backyard garden.
You know. Oh, you're the man, Doc. This one said, good morning from Prophet Samuel Tantra Hill. We need generational leaders indeed. Oh, Tom, that's what you said. So we really need them. Doc, coming back to our discussion,
Yes.
before we do a couple of messages more, where we are now, okay, if we cannot take back the hand of time, right? In going forward, trying to change what we are done wrong, where do we start from? One may say that we should start from probably even the crashes, I mean, and all that. To you, where do we think we can start from?
Where do we start from? Ideally, I keep saying ideally. Ideally, yes, it starts with leadership. So leadership beginning to change the approach and look at the very transformational, inspiring leadership style where we're speaking across board to everyone in the country, all right, to inspire them onto nation building.
Right.
And using our institutions, you know, to do the same thing. Using institutions to support people across board to believe in the nation, all right? And then also putting our monies where our mouth is, which is in education. If we're going to see a transformational country, it's going to come as a result of uneducated people, all right? I was looking at some statistics of the UAE, where Dubai and so on are. It will amaze you the level of literacy, how they have turned things around within a very short time. We must invest in education. I get sick and I get so worried when I see children still going to school under trees. You know, you go to school and you know, children still, you know, don't have pencils and so on to write. Look at our universities. The state of many of our universities is not very encouraging, all right? So we need to invest massively in education, but leaders across board, whether they're political, civil servant, religious leaders, all to use their platforms to speak positively into our nation.
Okay, there's one here says, let us all rebrand Ghana, our beloved country. Your program is motivating. I am John Amoa. His number is here from Kaswa. Rebranding Ghana is an issue also. So, back to my earlier question, at what stage do we start it from? You know, because now we'll try and do the wrongs that we did. When that is done at another level, do we pick up the pieces from creating that awareness in the infant, the children, as they grow up?
It's so important that we do that, and it starts from the home.
That's right.
I won't even start from the school. They start from the home. It starts from the home, right from our homes. We should teach our children, you know, how to build a nation. We should teach our children to respect one another. We should teach our children to respect their neighbors, you know, to respect their teachers, you know, not to litter the environment, because that is anti-nation building. We should teach our children to do the right thing. It starts from homes, and that is difficult. That is difficult. But we as parents, we as families, you know, family heads and so on, ought to set the right examples and to teach our people and our children to do the right thing. It starts from home. Charity begins at home. If we start doing the right thing in our homes, the whole nation will change.
Doug, let's look at it's kind of difficult, but can we have, is it possible to have transformational leaders heading most institutions of power? Is it possible?
Is it possible? Yes, it is possible, but is it going to happen? I don't know.
Exactly, it's going to happen. Because honestly, when you look at, we started America, not quite long ago.
Yeah. And you look at nations like, the UAE,
exactly.
Amazing leaders, amazing leaders.
And most of the time, it reflects in all institutions.
Absolutely.
How do we get there?
How do we get there? Sometimes, let me say that sometimes we do have some good people, but sometimes they are not willing to stand up, for some of those positions.
Good.
Elections is coming up. I want to encourage somebody, that they're successful transformation. Why they don't step up?
Some people sit on the fence. They've got what it takes to help. Immensely. But for fear of sometimes attacks and all that, they don't want to come out. Can I tell you what Einstein said? Please tell me.
One of the most respectable persons who ever lived. Yeah. His brain is still kept in a laboratory in the US today. His brain is still alive. One of the most brilliant people. He made this statement. He says that the world is dangerous, not because of evil people, but because of people who watch doing nothing. The world is a dangerous place, not because there are wicked people in the world, but it is because there are people who have the capacity to do things, and yet they are folded their hands watching. Right? And so there are many good people here in this nation, and yet for the fear of what people will say and all of that, they are just sitting in a little corner. But they have forgotten that if they took a step forward, the benefits of their going forward would far outweigh whatever consequences and what losses they might get. And so there are transformational leaders around, and I hope they're going to step up and get into political roles. And let me speak to the populace watching.
Please
that
do.
If somebody is rising up and they have the capacity and they are going for a certain political role, don't overbrand the person, because they are definitely 3 or 4 parties, maybe 2 major parties. The person cannot be in both parties at the same time. Whichever way, they're going to go for one of the parties. And if the person is good and has stepped in party A or party B, whatever that is, let's look at the quality of the person and let's support the person. See, because for me, I'll be very honest with you. I'm one of the most classical floating voters in this country. I work with a lot of qualified. I work with a lot of classical. And they asked me, I said, I'm one of the most classical floating voters, because I voted for different government, different leaders. And for me, I don't vote for parties. I vote for a human being, because it doesn't matter how good or how bad a party is. If the person leading the party or the person leading that particular role, it has the capacity, has integrity, the person can make a difference beyond the party. And doesn't matter, so that is critical. And so if somebody stood on whatever ticket, I want to encourage people that let's forget about party colors. Let's look at the quality of the human being going for that role, irrespective of their party color. Let's get transformational leaders, because when we put transformational leaders in the right places, this nation will move forward, irrespective of their party.
Let's look at the price we pay as a people. When we take on that like a physical behavior, attitude towards work and all that, because it doesn't inure to nation building. Let's look at the other side.
Well, there's poverty. It brings out sickness. It brings out a poor self-esteem. We are not proud of our nation, and people take us for a ride. People will take us for a ride. I mean, people will throw their baller here, whether their baller is in terms of human beings that they don't want, that they want to give to us, or their baller is in terms of equipments. All kinds of rubbish end up here. Are you aware? Clothing people don't want is here. Cars they don't want are here. Human beings they don't want are here. Fridges they don't want. Underwear. Everything. Yes. If you don't build your nation, tell me if you can go and dump rubbish in America. Tell me if you can go and dump rubbish in Dubai. Tell me if you can go and dump rubbish in Australia. I worked with that government. You go into Australia and there is a piece of wood, even like beads on you. The amount of screening it goes through at the airport is amazing. I was taking my shaving powder and they were just expecting it. They thought whatever was inside. I'm telling you, they don't want things going anywhere. They are checking their country. Everything. Why? Because they have built their nation. If you don't build your nation, you become a natural rubbish dump for other people that have built their nation. Wonderful. I hope we don't continue to become a rubbish dump for other people to take a ride over us. It's just because we have folded our hands and we haven't believed in our nation and built our nation. It's just like a human being. If you don't make something out of your life, you become a doormat for everybody. Well, when you begin to build your life up to a certain point, nobody can take you for a ride.
Wonderful. Let's hear this from Jacob from as soon as he says, Doc, I think you have educated the nation this morning. Okay, that's why he said you've educated Ghana this morning. He's talking about nation building. Doc is educating us so much. We're so much in love with you, Doc. And this one also says, Oh, the man has come again. It said GTV no sizes from D. Okay, it's the same thing now. That's where it's coming from. It says from D Black Agona SDA. GTV is still the best. Thank you very much, and to the crew of the morning show. This one says that I just want to thank Doc for this motivational talks this morning. I wish all politicians should tune into GTV's breakfast show now. This from Sudais from New Botsiano. Thanks very much for your messages coming through. This one also says, good morning. Okay, Mr. Nee, don't come again. No. All the morning show in Ghana, GTV don't have any size. Mr. Nee, keep it up from your...
I hope they're paying their TV licenses. Just kidding.
Oh, yeah. Harry, I have told you that. Sharp. Oh, Harry, you know, Harry should have told you about your TV license. Sharp, okay. But I believe in you guys and your works. May the good Lord bless all of you.
Thank you.
From Nkoko, from Kwewu West Municipal Assembly. All right. I do one last one, and you try. Good morning, panels. You are really doing a good job this morning by transforming people's lives this morning. I pray we continue to get such inspirational leaders and speakers to actually move Ghana to a better place. This Ayeko from Maxwell Suma from Jirapa. Wonderful.
Thank you, Max.
Thanks very much for your messages that you have sent so far. If you're just watching, you can also drop in your messages from the number is 0502-832032. Number again is 0502-832032. Doc, before we go, we in 2016.
That's right.
Give or take, let's say, within the next 10 years, okay, what do you expect us to be as a country if indeed we're going to have people like you on several platforms speaking and motivating us and being the driving force? You think that in about the next 10 years, what do you expect Ghana to be?
The next 10 years, we can become, we can come as close to becoming an advanced country as possible.
Wonderful.
We can become.
Attitude and everything.
Because look, I work once again with young people.
Yes.
When you see some of the young entrepreneurs we have in this country, when you see the ideas and the capacity and the intelligence of some of the people we have in this nation, it's just a matter of give them a chance. It's just a matter of resourcing them. It's just a matter of inspiring them. And they can turn this country right side up. All right.